What's up, my guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have another brand new radio to show you from JumperRC. This is the T15, not to be confused with the Radiomaster Crush. It seems that there are multiple colors of the T15 as well from JumperRC, and it has some people questioning because it looks so similar to the Radiomaster Boxers that are they the same company? Well, no, they're not, but Jumper was one of the first radio companies to come out with some of the 4-in-1 radios way back when the T16 was out, and that was a huge staple in our community. I still have my T16 over there, and now I have the T15, which looks strikingly similar to the Boxer, but there is some major differences that I'm going to show you. So whether you're in the market for a new radio right now, this is a great video for you to watch, because we're going to go ahead and let the Boxer and the T15 duke it out, and I'm going to show you the differences between the two and why you might want to buy one versus the other. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the content. There it is. This is the box that you get. It is running Express LRS and Edge TX on here. You can get 2.4 versions, or you can get the 915 megahertz version. It also, if you notice on the side of the box, it also comes in 7 colors. What is going on? Are these two companies working together? They both released a Boxer style mid-size radio with ELRS options, Edge TX, and 7 different colors at the same time. Coincidence? I don't know. You be the judge of that. Now, I got the blue version, and mine is running 2.4, and right away I noticed that the case is almost identical. Diego and I were both comparing the Boxer to the T15 from Jumper, and it is strikingly similar. It's almost insane how close these are. There are some differences on the side buttons here and the configuration of the modes buttons. All the switches here are the same, as well as the recessed arm switch over here and the momentary switch, both very identical. The addition of a folding antenna will make a lot of people happy though with this version. It's non-removable though. That's the one thing about this. You'll have to go inside the radio and physically remove it yourself if you want to, but it also turns on the vertical, which is great depending on how you have your antenna mounted on your aircraft. That's something that we need, but the Boxer also does that as well. It will swivel back and forth. And here are a look at the colors available. There's 7 different colors of the T15, exactly like the Boxer Crush. We have cyan blue, mint green, cold purple. We have deco yellow, lily pink, platinum white, and space gray. Exactly the same colors as availability for the Boxer Crush. Are these produced in the same factory? It's pretty likely. Now, while both of these radios are running Edge TX, the latest version of Edge TX operating system, that's great, but the T15 has a full color screen. It is a 3.5-inch screen, which is much larger than the LCD monochrome screen on the Boxer. So if this makes you happy, then I would go for the T15 over the Boxer. Now, I do like that it does have a 2.4 option and a 915 option running ELRS up to 1 watt. That's great. It also has an external cooling fan, which is really needed for when you're running up to 1 watt. If you've ever done that in the summertime, you know what I'm talking about. The radio can stop, restart, and reset, and until it cools off, it will not restart. So really good to keep that airflow going through the radio from the exterior. Now, also it has the VSM Hall sensor gimbals. They're a little bit different than the AGO ones, but these are also metal and spring tension adjustable from the front. Now, you should be really confused. If you didn't know any better, if you didn't know the Boxer or you didn't know the T15, if you'd never seen either, could you guess which one was which right here? This is kind of insane. Everything about these two radios are so similar. Even inside the box, you also get a gimbal switch cover, a little piece here that is very similar to the Boxer on the right. Yeah, and they both have the same similar case. They are so similar, in fact, that judging them side by side, the Boxer is just a little bit taller and the T15 is a little bit wider, but they have the same bottom cut. Thankfully, they do stand up on their own. They both have rubber side grips, and they both have these momentary switches and one-click switches for arming on the side. And here I'm going to show you the two biggest differences between these two radios. And I've talked about this before as far as battery life. You're going to get a better battery life with a monochrome screen, a little bit smaller. You're not going to use the full color screen as much, in my opinion. It wasn't such a thing that I needed for RC hobby. If I go ahead and press and turn on the Boxer, you'll see this monochrome screen load up, and it's running Edge TX. But again, it is monochrome. It's not full color. It's not, you know, very beautiful. But the T15, let's just go ahead and start that one up. You can see it's running Edge TX 2.10. Throttle warning, and we'll push that down, and that is a nice full color screen. So you can see it also has light up buttons on the top for system and telemetry. And we can go into the model menu there, and the model menu is pretty nice in there. It is very striking. So if this is something that you like more than the Boxer, I can't blame you for that. I'm just going to go into the model menu here and show you the difference between the model menu. So that's inside with Edge TX on the Boxer monochrome screen, and what it looks like inside the T15 as well. And they both have the jog wheel, so you can go up and down here and scroll through. And you can change from external to internal RF. You can go back, of course, just back to the main screen. And they really are just strikingly similar. But again, different screens. And if you're looking for longer battery life, I feel like the monochrome screen is the way to go there. And if we look at the battery bays on both of these, the Boxer does have the T15 beat as far as battery size. You can put a much larger battery inside the Boxer here. This is a 2S6200 LiPo battery that I use. That is my go-to battery, and I don't have to charge that for months at a time on my YouTube channel, which is kind of amazing because I fly almost every day. Now, the T15 has the standard 2-up 2S configuration that has the standard battery tray for 18650s. So it's not large enough to fit in the 6200 battery. You might be able to use one of Radiomaster's 2S 5000 pack. They also make a Li-ion version of that one as well. But I'll put some links down below for the large battery that I like. This is the 2S 6200, and that's the go-to battery for the longest radio time. And just below the JR module bay right here, we do have a physical fan on the back of the T15, which I think is a huge asset if you're running up to 1 watt internal elrs power. Now, also on the back of the T15, we do have a foldable kickstand, which I really like. So when you lay the radio down, if you do have a module in here, it's going to kind of give you some buffer space, but you still might hit the module because it doesn't appear to be a very tall kickstand. If this was a little bit longer to go down below here, I think that would be probably more useful if you are running a module. Now, if you're not running a module, it's kind of a nice way to just set it on the bench, whereas the Boxer has this kind of canvas style strap, and when you set this one down, it will be directly sitting on the module. But again, like when you lay it down on the bench, it goes straight down on its back. So I do prefer somewhat of a kickstand on my radios. And speaking of kickstands, the Boxer Max is right here in the center. And this kickstand has everybody beat. The original economy Boxer has the canvas strap. The T15 has the plastic kickstand right here. But this one has an upgraded aluminum bracket adjustable kickstand. So if we loosen these two right here, it can go shorter and it can extend all the way out, or adjust to the length of your module in the back of your radio. And then when you fold this out, you lay your radio down, it makes a really nice kickstand on the bench. So when you're ready to stow it, you just push it back down and it goes past the length of your module. And it comes down about another ½ inch down there. So this one is my preferred kickstand for any radio out there. And as far as both of these radios' ergonomics, they both have this very strikingly similar rubber grip on the back. The only real difference between the Boxer and the T15 is the fact that this one is a little bit rounder and a little bit wider, where this one's a little more narrow and comes around the backside. I do feel like this one is a little more comfortable than the Boxer because it just kind of fits around the side of my fingers just like this a little bit better. Gives me a little bit better grip and kind of a more comfortable grip in my opinion. Now you're looking at the top of the T15, and the top of the T15 has something different than the Boxer has. You may notice there's an extra slot up here. Everything else seems the same. We have the antenna modification holes right here. They have rubber grips that are holding them in. They have the 10-watt USB-C charging port right here for charging the internal battery. And we also have the trainer port here, but they have this little tiny hole right there. If you stick a bamboo skewer in there and you push that down while starting the radio, this is a DFU button, which will put it into DFU mode, which will allow you to do your firmware updates for Edge TX. I think that's kind of a nice option to have that right at the top center of the radio. Okay, so you can navigate these menus with the buttons on the front, or you can use the touchscreen. Since Edge TX came out, we have had touchscreen added to a lot of these screens, which is kind of nice, but I don't use it a lot. I find that the buttons are just quicker for me. So if we long press right here, it'll take you to your models menu. You can create favorites, you can create categories as well. So if we press back here, it'll take us to the main menu here, and you can add more widgets on the front here for different types of telemetry and things like that. If you momentary press, it'll take you quickly into the current model selected, which is kind of cool. So it defaults to model 01. You can see down here that we have extra things we can do, like change to internal RF. Right now it seems to be set to external RF. I want to change it back to CRSF there. We're going to go back, and I'm going to turn off external RF because right now we don't have any type of module in there, but you can see it goes to PPM, XJT, DSM2, which is great for Spectrum, multi-protocol, and R9M, Ghost, S-Bus, AFHD S3, Lemon RX, which is cool. So it has a variety of different external RF protocols. Now we can go back again here to the main model menu. You can use your page button to scroll over to all the different menus for that particular model, and go back again here. And if we had more widgets on the screen here, we could press page here, and we could scroll through some of the different widgets on the screen. So if you press system, it'll take you inside the radio system menus here. We can also use the page button to scroll through here. We can check out what version of the internal module firmware we have. If we go all the way to the end, you see Edge TX T15. So they do have their own firmware for this particular radio, which is really awesome. So it's the factory firmware. The date is 6/13/2024. So it's pretty current. It's from June 13th. And it has the time there. The options, it says Crossfire, Ghost, AFHD3, internal multi, internal access, multi-mode, Lua CLI, and pass-through. So we have modules RX version as well. So internal module is CRSF for elrs protocol. It's running 50 Hertz, and the external module is currently off. If you click on the telemetry button over here, it will take you into the telemetry menus where you can set up different widgets on your main screen. And this is, I've talked about this before. It might be time to do kind of an updated Edge TX for Dummies type of video, just so we can go through some of the basics together. If you're brand new to the hobby, a lot of this can be pretty confusing, but you can customize this screen to whatever type of widgets you want, and you can make it really complicated, or you can keep it really simple with just the name of your quadcopter on the screen. So one other thing you need to know about the T15 versus the Radiomaster Boxer is that the Boxer does come with an SD card. It is inside the battery bay, and it was already there when I turned on the radio, and I can save things or add things to it, take it out, put it in the computer, or whatever. This one has a built-in SD card, but it was also kind of recommended by Edge TX that they do it that way. So that's an interesting difference between the two radios that you might want to know. Now, one of the other things they did was they added the lithium ion cell on the outside for replacement. If you ever need to replace this, it's CR1220, and instead of having to take your whole radio apart to replace it, you have it right here inside the battery bay, which is kind of a cool feature for brand new people. Now, what I was noticing, if you're still watching this video, good for you, because you're going to learn something today. Both of these radios were originally priced at the same price. So if you weren't confused before, hopefully you watched this video and you found some features or functions about the T15 that you like more than the Boxer, or you like the Boxer better because it has a bigger battery bay, monochrome screen. You don't need all the fancy color screen and things like that. But Yeah, there are a lot of pros and cons to both of these, and it seems like the Boxer has great features for long battery life. Non-foldable antenna is not my favorite in the world, but it is quickly removable, and it also turns vertical and horizontal. Now, both of these radios, yeah, they came out at the same price, but just looking on Banggood's website right now, they have a flash deal on the T15 at $162.99, and they have 7 different colors to choose from. So it's kind of crazy. Is there a conspiracy going on between Radiomaster and JumperRC? Are they the same company? Probably not, but it's ultra strange that they both have 7 different flavors for you guys to choose from right now. So yeah, maybe the powers that be out there are trying to give you guys some different options, some different choices, but for the same price, which is pretty crazy to me. Edge TX on both of these. I think either one of these, honestly, would be just fine. If you get a Boxer, you'll be happy with it. If you get the T15, you'll be happy with it. Judging from what I've shown you today, hopefully you can make a decision. I'll put a link down below for the flash deal on the T15 because this review is directly for JumperRC. So yeah, I think they did a great job, but it is strikingly similar to the Boxer, and it just, it's not going to keep me up at night, but man, they look similar. They look like twins, and they both have 7 flavors, which is totally insane. So you be the judge. Is it a conspiracy? Are they the same company? Who knows? You choose which one you like the best. And hopefully you learned something today in this video about both of these radios that maybe you didn't know. But stay tuned on the channel for new drone news and more reviews coming up. And hopefully I help you out. If I help you out, become my Patreon. I have a link down there below as well for that. And grab a radio. Yes, we use affiliate links because I try to show you a little bit of everything here on this channel. And yeah, that one's still my favorite radio, by the way. Take care, guys. Fly safe, and I will see you on the next one.